Hey there. How are you? I already think that there's a technical difficulty. I'm not really sure that we're broadcasting on YouTube. Of course not. There's always something, isn't there? But what can you do? I'm assuming that we're broadcasting okay on Facebook land. Why don't you guys holler on Facebook land and let me know if it's working? It's definitely not working on YouTube, you fucking cocksmokers. Life sucks sometimes. Jesus, why is everything so hard? Why does it have to become so difficult? So, it's been a crazy. Welcome to Vinyl Junkies, by the way. You know what? You guys want to have a drink with me, man? It's been a very, stressful. It's been a stressful 3 weeks, man. The funny thing about... Cheers. That's where the camera is. Cheers, man. To you. Spin something and, yeah. Let's spend some time together. I guess the first thing that I should do is maybe take care of my pre-rolls. My, pay some bills, because the people that do that are pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do now is go to my screen and tell you that this is brought to you by our friends at Vinyl Me Please. A lot of you guys are subscribed, so you can know that they somehow do stand by the Best Damn Record Club. It's the Best Damn Record Club. It really is. Visit app.vinylmeplease.com if you want to win a record. Copy paste your choice in the comments, and at the end of the show I'm going to pick one of you to win that record. So app.vinylmeplease.com, the best damn club out there, the best damn record club out there. Pick your record, copy paste in the comments, and good luck. No purchase necessary, of course. Then we have our friends at Soundsmith. Expert precision phono cartridges, handcrafted by experts. Did I say experts? Precision phono handcrafted cartridges by experts in upstate New York. Visit sound-smith.com, 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 sound-smith.com. That's where you're going to get good cartridges. Oh, they also actually sponsored my phono stage, which is amazing. The best I've ever heard. We have our friends at Flipbin, which I'm going to kind of like tell you what's up there. But Flipbin, Ben Robertson there. Fill, flip, play, and display. What you see back here, that's a Flipbin. Visit flipbin.com to check out what I really consider the best fucking vinyl storage, no, not storage, but display articles ever, well, that I've used, okay? And then we got our friends at Org Music who put out stuff like the Sister Rosetta Tharp, and some really good content is coming around that. You're gonna like it. Shining new light on seminal recordings from vinyl catalogs like CTI, Black Lion, I'm looking there, I gotta read, Atlantic and Columbia jazz catalogs. All the good stuff. Okay. They're there as well. Sun Records, good stuff there. So Org Music is stuff that we're going to be seeing a lot more. As I've mentioned before, me and Rossiter there at Org Music are working on a super secret special box set, jazz box set, to which I will be writing the liner notes, and I can't wait to tell you about that. It's going to be fun. I'm not telling you the artist yet. We're not there yet, but jazz fans are going to be happy. There's a lot of box sets and a lot of special stuff coming around the holiday season. You guys are... Listen, I know that, you know, there's Record Store Day, and what's the other one? Black Friday. Paint the devil on the wall. Black Friday. Take the devil on the wall! And Black Friday, right? Those are the two big things when it comes to records. But what it is that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put together something really cool for Christmas. So we're working on some super bundles that'll save you guys some money and make you happy as record collectors. It's coming. All right. Look, man, YouTube's not happening. I don't know how to fucking fix that. And I'm live now, so it's not going to happen. So if I'm not wrong, can one of you guys check? I'm going to be checking the comments, but can one of you guys check our website, vinyljunkies.co? Just let me know if the stream is happening there, because if it is, that'll be cool. I don't see shit. Or do I have to refresh? I need to refresh, don't I? Boom, look at that. Oh, yeah. I do see it. That's very cool. I've noticed also that you can add comments directly there. So what it is that you're listening to, guys, is a mentally ill person who's completely fucking flummoxed by all of this new equipment. I try to make myself feel better by telling myself, no, it's not because you're a moron and you don't get it. Kind of like Howard Stern's father. Shut up, you moron! It's just there's so much to do, and that really is it. I mean, 60 hours a week doesn't cover it, because there'll always be another mountain of stuff that needs to get done. Now, this isn't a complaint. Definitely not. As a matter of fact, I think I've said that I'm currently, because of Vinyl Junkies and just being able to talk about music, fucking drink beer, smoke a joint, and just talk to you guys about music live. Dream, man. Dream. Talk about records. Amazing. The thing is that, it also comes with a lot of anxiety, because when there's everything changing, you have fun at the beginning and you kind of just let it roll. And eventually it dawns on you. It's like, all right, now you got a bunch of sponsors under you, and you got to put something on. You got to put on a good show. And there's this internal pressure that happens where self-doubt starts creeping in, and you start asking yourself, who the fuck am I to think that anyone would even be interested in what I have to say about music? I mean, listen, I don't present my opinions as, law, that's for sure, or, the written word. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got them, and taste is entirely subjective. But, I have my perspective on things, and I try to share them with you. And for me, Vinyl Junkies is really all about what we're doing right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, raise a glass to you. Raise a glass to you, man. Let's have a beer. Let's talk about music. That's what it's about, And I know a lot of you guys can't watch live, and that's cool. But watch later. For me, I don't know if that's the case, but it's what I aspire to. If it becomes a part of your day where you're able to kind of just chill out, and get in your zone and maybe just drop the needle on a record and listen to the show at the same time, then that would make me happy, and that's what it is that I go for. And the only thing that I know how to do, guys, is be real, man. I've listened to music since forever, and despite the fact that it's causing me a ton of anxiety right now, it's the self-pressure you put on yourself, but the second something goes wrong, kind of like, the YouTube feed not happening right now, that kind of thing, it throws you off your game. And that's very much what happened over the last 2 weeks. I guess I can't do much about that. That's the way it goes. But I've said it, self-doubt creeps in, and mental illness starts fucking with you. Because, a couple of weeks ago I did a show and I managed to be a little bit funny, and some people like funny. So all of a sudden you start thinking that you got to be funny, in order to keep it up. And then, look, let's be clear. If you're bipolar, you're a moody bitch. That's the deal. I'm a moody bitch. I don't know when I'm happy. I don't know when I'm sad. I don't know when I'm... You know what I'm saying? So I found myself at many times during this week and the weeks before, but especially over the last 2 weeks, just feeling sad. And adding that layer on top of that of guilt. Why? Because I have no fucking reason to be sad. I got no reason to be depressed right now, man. I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I want. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, all depends on what you want in life. For me, I just want to act like a dumbass and talk about music for the rest of my life. That's what I want to do. I don't care, man. I've already taken a vow of poverty. I'm good with being poor, okay? But I want to be happy. That's one place I don't want to be poor. So, from that end, I'm living the dream, man. I have a wife who adores me. I know it's a lifetime partner. I have a kid who thinks I'm Superman, and I know that. And my friends love and support me, and their children fucking adore me. I'm not sure that that's ever happened that way in my life. I've always been the black sheep. You know, hence, you know, very possibly why it is that I've listened to metal most of my life, because metal just kind of attracts the fringes, and I guess I was fringe, you know, always have been. But what are you supposed to do? You know, you don't pretend to act weird. You don't, it's just, you are who you are. Okay, so what do you do when you go out in society and you realize that most people are looking at you sideways because you're not acting normal? But the thing is, what the fuck is normal? Really, what's normal, right? What's normal? So, realize that the entire game just didn't work. And you eventually reach a point, it takes a breakdown first, but you reach a point where you say, fuck it, fuck it. I gotta be happy, I gotta do what makes me happy, and this makes me happy. So, what wound up happening is a lot of good things. From the anxiety perspective, I turned to music. By the way, Vinyl Style are sponsors as well. I didn't get to that part, but there's always next week. Let me get to my first review. I'm not doing any of this in order, it looks like, but that record back there is what I'm listening to, or what you're listening to in the background right now, and that'll be my first review. In the comments section, you know, Mogwai is the one that's front and center, because, I mean, hey, let's face it, that's the star attraction, right? They're an amazing band, and I can tell you with certainty that it's an amazing record, and I will talk about it later. But if you want to talk about the record that impacted me most, is I mean, listen to what's happening in the background, right? And you're a fucking mess, and you know, I'm overwhelmed by all this stuff I need to learn. Again, not because it's hard, but because there's just so much, because, you know, that's what it is, man. You know, success doesn't happen by accident, man. You got to work your ass off for it. So the whole thing winds up overwhelming you, and music is one of those things that's supposed to soothe you, right? And Behind the Shadow Drops comes in. This record right here. Actually, you know what? I'll even give you the visual, because I did prepare the visual. You guys are going to be so impressed with me. Check it. Oh, does that look pretty or what? Look at that album cover, right? So I take the record out of the sleeve, and, you know, I try to get a grip. I try to get a grip on the anxiety, and, you know, I smoke a joint, but it's not really doing what it's supposed to. It doesn't change the fact that I'm fucking scared, you know? And the music somehow just makes it better. I mean, listen to it, and you can tell me if I'm exaggerating or not. To me, this is the best kind of review. Just listen with your own ears. Now, the thing is that I fully am cognizant of the fact that this show may get taken down because of this. I hope it doesn't happen, and I mean, but, you know, I'm talking over it for the most part, and it's just an atmosphere. But it helped me through, and I played this record here 3 times just today. So, you know, if I have to talk to you about a temporary residence record that impacted me, I would say beyond or behind the Shadow Drops, is the one. I actually have a bunch of notes here too, so what I'll do is I'll even go over the notes with you to kind of give you a better idea. It's the solo project of Taka from Mono. Okay, let me read the press statement, and I'm pretty sure that it'll sound really good on podcast land. So why spend my time ad-libbing when professional writers did it for me? Behind the Shadow Drops is the new solo endeavor from Takakira Takagoto, founding guitarist and composer of iconic Japanese experimental rock group Mono. 20 plus years in the business, you know. Established in 2016, Behind the Shadow Drops combines Goto's disparate but commensurate interests in many different forms of music, most notably ambient, hip-hop, trip-hop, not hip-hop, trip-hop, I forgot, not hip-hop, trip-hop, okay? Industrial minimalism, definitely. Modern classical, definitely. Beautiful use of sparse piano. I mean, just listen to that. And, you know, at some points you just hear some bowed oboe. I got chicken skin listening to this just now. I'm not kidding. Where was I? Recorded at Goto's home studio and mixed with esteemed producer and percussionist John McIntyre of Tortoise. Very good, right? Yola Tango also, the Sea and Cake. Harmonic merges Goto's dynamic, moody compositions with McIntyre's renowned drum programming and percussive sensibilities. What begins as a passing resemblance to the more melancholy work of Goto's ensemble, Mono, of course, slowly mutates into something otherworldly, submerging a symphony of synths, drum machines, noise loops, and mournful strings. Courtesy of Los Angeles experimental cellist Helen Money. Listen to that. I got goosebumps, man. And this was my cure. What you're listening to right now was my cure. I've been a fan of Mono since the early 2000s. Knew him from the very first record, beyond, the People Tree album. What's the hell's the name of that record? People Tree something or other. Released on John Zorn's label Tzaddik. And followed them through. So, I mean, I love the band. But I have a feeling that Behind the Shadow Drops is something I like even more. Perhaps because of the fact that that explosive element of post-rock that so many people go for is not there. The later period of Mono's catalog sees them kind of like exploring more subtleties and different kind of soundscapes, and here it's almost like that's the only thing that's being explored. It's just whatever, man. I'm really glad that I don't have to fucking assign any number. You guys have yours for yourself, so what you do is you listen to it and you see for yourself. But I hope Behind the Shadow Drops tours, because I would love to listen to this, and I don't know if Taka speaks English, but if Taka speaks English, thank you, arigato, thank you, arigato. It's beautiful, and you made a difference in my life, man. I got stories. What do you think? I'm going to be a sad bastard for the rest of the day? Nah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the other streams and see if they work, okay? Don't worry. You guys know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm going to get back to the show eventually, too. Alright, so I got stories. Actually, can I tell you something that'll make you... If you have any empathy whatsoever for the story I just told you, right? This whole sad bastard thing of anxiety, crippling anxiety, and fucking mental illness and bipolar, let me offer you the opportunity to... fuck, the soundtrack's wrong, though. I gotta turn it off. Let me offer you the opportunity to completely take it all back. What also happened this week is a new fucking Super Automatica espresso machine. Got myself a banging Psycho, right? Fucking automatic, push the button, makes amazing coffee. You can control the grinds. So finally, I mean, I had one back in my days as a financial advisor. So, you know, bought the thing, and literally, when it broke down after thousands of coffees, my wife and I actually mourned the thing. So I wound up getting another one, you know, for business purposes. And here I am feeling anxious, but what's happening is that I'm making coffee from this espresso machine. Now, I don't like those long coffees. I like nice, tight, short coffees. I'm Italian. I like espresso, right? In the morning, I like my espresso with milk. So what do? I make some nice, you know, 3 shots per coffee, but really, really short. And the thing is that I used to drink out with a Bodum, right? You know, the French press type deal. Now, I like liquid. The coffee accompanies me forever, right? It just accompanies me throughout my day as I'm doing my thing. So I make these coffees, and I put 3 shots of crazy espresso and top it off with some nice frothy milk, and then, you know, just beautiful. Now, I have only 2 cups of coffee. Of course, this is what I tell myself. Oh, I'm having only 2 cups of coffee. But I mean, look, let's face it. I'm having 6 fucking shots of espresso, 6 really hard shots of espresso. So what winds up happening is, you know, it's kind of like stuck to the ceiling. Now, it makes you really productive, but it doesn't help the anxiety thing any. And of course, I'm fully aware of this, but it doesn't stop me because, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You got yourself a coffee machine. You love coffee. You make yourself these crazy espressos and these crazy lattes. And, oh, I'm feeling anxious now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop drinking coffee. Fuck that. You know, didn't make sense. So I didn't do it. Ooh, now, that's my coffee story. Sorry if you guys see me kind of fucking around in the middle of shows, but I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, should we move on to the next interview? Hey, should I do the hate mail? I haven't even read this, but I was looking for my pre-roll information on my computer here, and came across in my documents an untitled document that seemed to be hate mail. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be fun? It's got no date and the name isn't there, which, I mean, I would never mention the name anyway. And the fact of the matter is I never gave a fuck about hate mail. But you know what? When you run a group and you make it private and you add rules to it and you do all of this stuff, people are going to think, how dare he? How dare I is that it's a private group and we want to focus on music. So dumbasses. You know, people complain about social media, and it's not the real world. You know what? Can I tell you something about social media? Social media allows me to filter every asshole out as often as I have to. When I go outside in the outside world and I do my groceries and I pump my gas and I do whatever the fuck else I gotta do, I gotta deal with pricks all around me. I can only imagine if I had to go into the office. My God, I remember going to the bank. I hated that fucking thing. This noose around your neck, right? And you're supposed to shake hands with millionaires and basically put together their plans so that they can fucking retire even richer than they are. And it's like, fuck you, you know? So it may have taken a breakdown, but the fact is that I love social media because social media allows me to say, go fuck yourself to anybody that I don't like. If I don't want to talk to you, I block you. People talk about all the trash that comes on the internet. Fuck you. That's not true at all. All right. Guess what? There's something in math. It's called algorithms. All right. All those sites that point those ads to you and articles, they're all based on these magical mathematical formulas called algorithms. What it says is if you're clicking on something and if you've shown that you have interest in garbage, what they're going to do is they're going to feed you more garbage. So if your Facebook feed is garbage and you feel, you know what, Facebook sucks, I need to get off Facebook, look at yourself in the mirror, all right? If you're looking at garbage, it's because that's what you're exposing yourself to. Because as far as I know what the block button is. I know how to delete. I know how to tell them, you know what, this ad isn't relevant to me. Fuck it. So you know what I wind up getting? I wake up every morning with a fucking Woody. You know why? Because I get to talk music. And when I come onto Facebook, it's all music. And when you come onto Vinyl Junkies, there's no spam, there's no trolls, there's none of that. It's just a bunch of people talking music. What we love. Sharing these records together, man. It's the best thing in the world. You know? And people sharing when they get married, and a birthday, and the birth of a child, and the first record that they played to their kid, and the death of a loved one. That's the stuff that binds, man. That's what community is, okay? And music does that for us. So just like Behind the Shadow Drops did that for me and helped me, you know, music is the same thing. You know, it accompanies us through all of it, and it doesn't judge like a lot of human beings, right? Because I guess that'll take us right into the hate mail, because that's what it's about. Okay, you know what? Let's go into the hate mail. I'm curious too, guys. I promise I don't know what this is, okay? I'm just going to have a drink if I can. All right. So, I open up this document that says VJ text. Right at the top, and I'm reading it to you, I guess verbatim. Right at the top, it says Facebook forum. Number 1. Please include a YouTube music clip in the comments section of all your posts so the rest of us can have a listen. Thanks. The wording of that, I mean, you guys know that's Vinyl Junkies 101. You got to have the link, but, you know, the wording's changed over the years, but, and we've actually now no money talk either. That's the kind of thing that pisses people off, because it's like, how dare you? How dare I is go fuck yourself. That's how I dare. I don't feel like dealing with assholes. You know, oh, how much is my collection worth? Oh, wait a second. Let me buy this super limited fucking asshole colored vinyl because it's going to be worth $1 quillion on fucking eBay. You know what? Fuck you. You're not talking about music. Go fuck yourself. Get the fuck out of my face. Ooh, piss and vinegar. So, let's read this letter. I hope there's nothing embarrassing about there. He might tell me to fuck my mother or whatever, but that's okay. Jeremy, I'm sorry. Oh, by the way, there's no date on this. Is there a date? No, there's no date. So, I can't tell you when this is, but it must have been old because I don't keep this shit. The original, actually, I should keep this stuff. The original idea of this was, you know, it's pretty funny. So, hate mail is like, you know, it's kind of like those stars that read their mean tweets, you know, because, yeah, I don't take that shit seriously. So, it's taken me a long time just to read a letter, eh? I suck. All right, so the guy to the thing, please include a YouTube or music clip in the comment section of all your posts so the rest of us can have a listen, right? The idea of a big listening session. It's been a bunch of years. We've done this since the beginning. What do you think? Is it a good rule? Does it make sense? Right? When people say, I don't want to do it, look it up yourself. What's your thing? Right? Right? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's all. So, Jeremy, I'm sorry, but I'm tired of you telling people basically to just leave and not let the door hit them on the way out. Basically, just a big fuck you to anyone who doesn't like the rule, which I understand. Follow the rules. This is a vinyl forum, and this attitude you have is killing it for some of us who have been around for a while, before the YouTube thing was mandatory. Yeah, so this is really early. I goggled a few things about people wanting YouTube link. He goggled. He uses goggle. This guy uses goggle. Goggle.com. You fucking cock goggler. I goggled a few things about people wanting YouTube links posted to their groups and found some interesting things. Ooh, he's a sleuth. Let's find out what this fucking Inspector Clouseau figured out. I don't know myself. I can't wait to find out. My nipples are getting excited thinking about it. Tell me what it is that you found out, you silly little freak. I goggled a few things about people wanting YouTube links posted to their groups. You found interesting things. All right, let's hear it, Inspector. It seems like some people are making money this way. Maybe you are, which is fine, but it's against the spirit of vinyl and talking about music in my book. He's got judgments. Back on February 22nd, you sent me a post and said, dude, just leave instead of causing a stink. So I am. Yeah, because, I don't even bother answering anymore. I just two times. Admin is there. They'll tell you to go fuck yourself and you're gone. I like the power of fuck you. The power of fuck you is one of the things that makes depression disappear. You know why? Because some people, that's the only answer. Twice. I wish I had 4 arms. I wish I was like fucking Vishnu, where I had a bunch of arms, so that I can do it with more arms. 8 arms, even better. The message is 8 times more powerful. Do you understand? That's the deal with some people, because the world is filled with assholes. Now, the thing is that people, they hide behind cameras. You understand? Now, when they hide behind cameras, it makes them tough guy. Keyboard warrior, so they wind up saying things to people that they're not necessarily supposed to say. Like this fucknut right over here. By the way, I'm not angry at all. This is just fun for me, to be honest with you. I love this stuff. So, on February 22nd, I hurt this man's feelings. Because I sent him a post that said, dude, just leave instead of causing a stink. So I am. I will make sure that the door doesn't hit my ass, but gently brushes up against it. Hitting it might bruise it, and that's not nice. Was he hitting on me? So, to finalize my rant that I'm sure nobody really cares about other than myself, you're right, but I do care because it's entertaining. Because now, I don't know when you wrote it, but years later I'm reading it live, and it's fun. Oh yeah, that's why I kept this. So, to finalize my rant that I'm sure nobody really cares about other than myself, I hope that someday you stop acting like you're sitting upon the throne of what Vinyl Junkies is. Dickhead. I created Vinyl Junkies. It's a community, we share it, but yeah. I'm at the throne of what Vinyl Junkies is, me. Vinyl Junkies is me. If you don't like me, you turn the fucking thing off. Period! An asshole runs Vinyl Junkies. Alright, I can handle that. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. What do you do when people come into your house, right? You know the types, right? They get drunk and they act like complete fucking imbeciles. Right? Or I had this guy sitting here, this fucking Bob, this piece of garbage, My best friend and his wife, who's my best girlfriend, basically come over and they bring this fucking shit stain into my house. Now, I already had a problem with this guy, you understand? But I have a tremendous amount of respect for my friends. I do. So, yeah, man. Bring them over, sure. We're going to watch the fights. We're going to watch the UFC fights. Now, look for a stream. This guy starts bitching to the point where, if any of you hung out down here, we're not talking about music at all, are we? Or, well, yeah, maybe. I'll get to music. I'll get to the reviews. We're hanging around down here. There's one thing down here, right? It's just, this is a chill area. This is where we have fun. People come, they talk about their problems. They talk about what makes them happy. We have fun. We connect here. That's what vinyl is all about. That's what the experience is. So when we come here, oh, look, I have this. No. We're gonna this is the space. That's the way the space is, man. And this guy comes in and he's fucking bitching at 100 miles an hour, to which I have to stop at one point and it's like, dude, let's be clear. You're in my motherfucking house and you're acting like an asshole. Stop. This will not stand. To which he kind of grumbles and stops. But you see, what winds up happening after is he gets really angry and belligerent and starts talking about niggers. And I didn't throw him out of the house, which really surprises me, because I would have thrown... But I made it clear. This shit stain of society, never, don't ever bring that garbage into my space again. You don't get angry at the person. Of course you don't. Everyone is responsible for themselves. And you know what? Whether you like it or not, I know you're stupid and you might think that it's anonymous, but when it is that you're doing something online like this, it leaves a digital imprint. All right? So if you act like an asshole, it follows you around. I know some people don't care. That's fine because, you're able to feel good behind the veil of the computer. I got a smartphone. No one can touch me. I'm invincible. I gotta stop. Ooh, I didn't even finish the letter. Should I? Are you guys even finding this entertaining as much as I am? Should I just continue this fucking thing? I'm having fun with it. I won't lie with you. I won't lie to you. Just hold on a sec. Do I got this? Yeah, all right. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna continue this letter, all right? It's almost finished, by the way, so if it's boring, if this entire bit was boring, well, sorry, hey. You can leave, and that's what this guy's complaining about, being told that if you don't like it, you can leave, but it really is true. You have choices in life. So, he's going to finalize his rant. His rant is that I should stop acting like I am sitting upon the throne of what Vinyl Junkies is. Then, what he does is he puts me in my place, okay? He reminds me very forcefully. It's a Facebook group, nothing more. Wrong. You don't know what's coming. I know what's coming. We already have this and we're already having fun together. We having fun? You guys like talking about music? Cheers, motherfuckers! Nothing more? Go fuck yourself. Right? I love telling people to go fuck themselves. It feels so good. Even when you're not angry, it just feels good. Right? So, Vinyl Junkies is a Facebook group, nothing more. It's supposed to be a fun place to talk vinyl music and what we enjoy. Yes, it is. You're monitoring and deleting things that you don't want up simply for the lack of a video is asinine. Well, it's been... Okay, you're wrong. Whatever, I don't even have to answer that. That's pretty... Everyone here knows how to look up a song. They don't need help. Hopefully... okay, yeah. Then he tells me about a record that he picked up. And he was going to post it, but he's not going to post it because he has to post a link. So he just got off. And now I don't know who this guy was, but that was his rant. And what it did was it fucking woke up the corpuscles in my brain so that I was able to just vent for a little while and have fun talking to you about, We're going to talk about Mogwai now. Now, we're going to talk about Archie Shepp now. Shit, this might wind up being a long show. Who knows? Archie Shepp. VMP Classics. A mess from the beginning. I still don't know how to buy the record. I don't. I mean, listen, we're lucky, okay? I love... I think I've already expressed the fact that I love VMP and I'm fortunate to work with them. And my favorite part of the whole subscription is actually the jazz and rhythm and blues add-on. So I was excited about this. And I never got the Archie Shepp. Undersold, all the rest of this. But just a couple of weeks or a couple of months later after... I wound up getting this record, I don't have it here, but an Impulse compilation that had this Archie Shepp. This was an Archie Shepp album that I didn't even know about, right? It's on Impulse, so for me there, look back there, you're going to see orange and black spines everywhere. I am a massive fan of this stuff, and, I collect all of it. I'm listening to this compilation, this Impulse compilation released in the 70s, and all of a sudden here, just a straight-up funk jam. And I'm completely blown away because it's like, wait a second, this isn't jazz. This is most certainly not what I expect from Impulse. Now, Impulse has taken a chance with a bunch of stuff. Okay, spoken word and a whole bunch of things. But I wasn't expecting it. And it's right in my wheelhouse because I love funk, blaxploitation. I just love that entire thing. I go look and it's... the record that VMP didn't send me, Attica Blues, Archie Shepp. Now all of a sudden I want the record even more because it contains this mind-blowing song. And then I read, and Attica Blues is, a community-based record, and it's named after a riot that happened in Attica prison. It's not a political record, but still, it comes from the street, so it fits right in my wheelhouse, right? That's the stuff I love the most. So now it's making me even fucking crazier. I'm not getting this record. And you look online and, VMP got undershipped. They got short shipped on this. So even clients didn't wind up getting it. And, people take advantage of such situations. So all of a sudden they show up and it's like, fuck you, I ain't paying that. But what winds up happening is record collectors are obsessive compulsive. We're a bunch of crazy people. So what winds up happening is that it makes you want it even more. So I start jonesing over this fucker, even though I didn't even know about the record a couple of months ago. But every drip is like Chinese water torture. It's like fucking waterboarding happening. It's making me nuts. I need the record. Now, I talk to Hessler, once a week about, we discuss what we need to discuss, and I've told him this over and over again, not because I'm trying to guilt him or whatever. It's like, look, the record's not available. I completely understand it. So he sends me his personal copy. I feel guilty. I'm happy. I'm happy I have it. I love this record. I really wanted it. As a matter of fact, if anything, it's now pretty much the grail in my entire VMP catalog. It really is. If you can get a copy of Attica Blues, this is a fantastic record, and it was the first record in VMP's classics subscription, which they now have a hip-hop subscription, and I can't wait to get that. The first record on the hip-hop subscription is Common Electric, which I don't remember, Electric something or other, but I actually had the records. The lead single's really good. I don't remember if I'm not going to sing it for you because I'm not going to do it. But it's coming, and I can't wait to get it. So that's the Archie Shepp story. I now have the Archie Shepp record after going slightly OCD about it. Thanks, Hessler. You fucking rule. You handsome devil, you. You're one of the good ones, Hessler. And I'm a bigger Archie Shepp fan than you are. So, goddamn it, I earned it. It's mine. I have to turn around to see what I'm going to talk about next. What I'm going to talk about next is what I was supposed to talk about at the very beginning of the show, but it didn't turn out that way, did it? We're going to talk about Mogwai's latest record. What the hell is this thing called? Every Country's Son? Why don't you let me check my notes and I'll tell you all about it. It's coming. This one came out at the beginning of September, by the way. You probably know, some of us old guys were used to having records come out every Tuesday. Well, records now come out every Friday. I don't know about anything outside vinyl. Honestly, I don't. But I know that the release schedule very often has gone to every Friday for the most part. So my guess is that the 8th of September was a Friday. Hadn't gotten my copy. I know that they experienced a little bit of a setback when it comes to the vinyl pressings, but finally got it out into people's hands. There's supposed to be some ultra special box set edition with some special prints and such that I don't have. I have the double album, and I mean, I'm cool. I'm not a packaging guy. The music is what matters most. Actually, if anything, you know what? The version I have, the double LP that I have here, is just regular old black vinyl, 180 gram with a nice gatefold. More than satisfied. Now, in terms of the record, damn, Mogwai's interesting, aren't they? I mean, it could be argued that they were one of the originators of the entire post-rock genre. It's them and Godspeed and a bunch of others, but those are the only two that are coming to mind now. I mean, those were the early days for me, and those are the days I remember. Actually, mono as well. And man, those early Mogwai records really blew me away. I mean, Rock Action was the big one, but even My Father, My King, the EP, and Rock Action, and Come On Die Young, and a whole bunch. As their career went on, it seems they moved away from that and they got cinematic. And I liked the cinematic thing. Zidane was a soundtrack that I liked very much. Had it on CD, haven't ever found it on vinyl. Don't even know if it was ever reissued or re-released or whatever. But that's a record I most certainly would want. And they did a soundtrack also with Clint Mansell for the movie The Fountain. Man, would I love to have that. But I think the complaints come more from, let's say, the last decade or so. I've heard grumblings from Mogwai fans on how they've kind of like, quote unquote, lost it. And I'm not sure that I agree. I never agreed with that because their sound changed. So they became more subtle. And I welcomed it, and I still welcome it. Here, what it is that we have is we still have those subtleties, but there's a certain urgency to early Mogwai records. There's a certain intense energy, especially when they get to the explodey part, that's back. There's a rawness that's back on this record. And I'm not usually somebody who remembers the names of songs, but I actually made notes for myself. Yeah, there's a song on D2 called Old Poisons, and that's the one that probably reminds me most of the early Mogwai days. So if you want to look up Old Poisons, it's a rocker. Then, I've referred to post-rock before as music fit for like a car commercial. Not minivan, but it's just the whole kind of like sprawling soundscape. And bands like Explosions in the Sky have showed up in car commercials. So the last song, the title track, Every Country's Son, the note I made for myself is that it's worthy of a car commercial, not a minivan commercial, because that's kind of like, minivan commercials have clapping and children and messes in the car and distractions to make sure that the kids don't keep saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" That's not what Mogwai is going to soundtrack. But Every Country's Son, on the other hand, if you're kind of like in a Lexus commercial and you're driving, that fucking California coast and all the rest, and they make it look like he's on a journey. He's not just driving an expensive car, like way too expensive that, he's on a journey because the music is so dramatic. Every Country's Son is worthy of a car commercial in the best possible ways. It's a fantastic song. Now, what we'll talk about is the big thing. Wolverine is the first single, and I liked it. Don't remember much, so I guess, Song 2 on side 1 caught me immediately. Party in the Dark. Why? Real simple. It reminds me of my dog, Patches. We rescued a dog last year, an old beagle. Okay, our Basset Hound Sash had passed, and how attached you get to animals, right? And lo and behold, somebody in the local community over here has this 9-year-old beagle that used to belong to a woman who could no longer care for it. She was old and developed dementia and started mistreating her dog. So, they had to find someone, and it's tough when you deal with older animals because, you don't have much time with them or whatever. But, she was just the most adorable thing. We brought her and, give her a home and wanted to make her comfortable for the rest of her life. But such a quiet animal, really such a quiet animal. And then all of a sudden, she just kind of like, after days, maybe weeks even, she just goes to the door, to the patio door, and what? Dude, you've been fucking mute for the last couple of weeks, and now all of a sudden, you know? So that's what happened with this Mogwai song. The fuckers come up and start singing. I don't have every Mogwai record. I don't know if it's the first time we hear these guys sing. But they start singing. And this seems to have caused some mixed reviews when it comes, you know. Hessler says he can take it or leave it, it sounds like. Other people have said, when did Mogwai become New Order? And yeah, it definitely has an 80s New Order feel, but it's not New Order. They're not trying to be New Order. But they present their music within that context. And I think it's done well. I love it. As a matter of fact, they seem to really believe in it as well. So much so, you know why? Do I have it here? I'm going somewhere with this story once I find the fucking props. Props. This is why. Temporary Residence sent me their 7-inch single. And look, I very often don't even bother with 7-inch singles. I don't listen to them very much. But as I was entering it into Discogs, Party in the Dark, and I made the connection. Hey, wait a second. So what these guys did is they released a 7-inch single of perhaps the first time that they ever feature vocals on an album, and it's a song that some fans, you know, feel betrays their sound. I loved it. It's like, slow clap, motherfucker. Awesome. You know what's even more awesome about that? You know the B-side? That's another song with vocals. The song is called Eternal Panther. And that one's got vocals too. So, you know, what, I've heard maybe 7, 8 Mogwai records and never heard a peep out of these guys. Like Patches, the first 2 weeks, you know? Then all of a sudden a new record comes out and they got the single over here. Side 1 and side 2, man. Singing. And it's good. I don't want them to become a singing band. That's not what I'm saying here. But what it is that I am saying is, if you guys want to feature another, you know, vocal song on your next album, I'd be okay with it, because I liked what you did, man, and it fits and I enjoyed it. And the fact that it's not the old Mogwai, who gives a shit? It's a new record. So that's my Mogwai review. I haven't seen the super deluxe version, but there's some like art prints in there, so it looks pretty sweet. You can get it at the VMP shop. You're not going to get this, though. This, Eternal Panther. 2 songs, singing. Awesome. I never thought that I would say that, but yes, that's what I'm saying. And now we're down to our third review. Is this thing even still going on? I don't even know. Well, the good news of it is that I guess I'm just getting in my groove and I'm not really paying attention to equipment, right? But let me just check. I have to do this every once in a while. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, it's still going. So now we're going to talk about the secret machines. Not the secret machines. Secret machines. Don't add a the. You remember during the early aughts, all bands had to have the verve, the strokes, the in spiral carpets. There were a lot of the bands. I don't remember them now. Of course I wouldn't. But like 2000 to 2010 was the year of the. A lot of the were pioneers of the. Pioneers of the. So if you think that the Strokes were original, last night she said the. Go buy Infected. Good record. Good record. Last night she said. That guy's a fucking dweeb. I like the song though, it's catchy. Secret Machines. New label. Or kind of not a new label, but a new subsidiary of Warner Brothers called Run Out Groove. Interesting concept there. What they do is they go into back catalog from the Warner catalog, which is a huge catalog. There's so many labels there. And they put up a website. Now, if I'm getting it right, it's probably runoutgroove.com, but their idea is that they do a good old-fashioned shootout where every month, or I don't know how long it is, they'll put up 3 records that you can vote on, okay? And members, okay, get to choose which record they're going to get next. So that's to say that there are 2 good records this month. There were 3. I don't remember one of them, but one's a Dr. John record. There were 2 records and an R&B record. I wanted both of them, you know, but, and you go there, and when the voting is over, they send these records to the subscribers, right? Now, what's cool about that, and I think it's an ingenious way of selling records, is they offer one color to everybody who's subscribed, and those are the only ones. And once they're gone, they're gone. They put them out of print, right? And then they print up another bunch of stuff, which they put on, and they sell to retailers. Different color and whatever. But, you know, first, they give subscribers a special something, and they vote. The subscribers vote on what they want. And once the subscribers get everything, then they re-release it and they put it out to the general public. I thought that was a good idea. I liked it. The thing is that they sent me 2 records, and I had no idea what either of them were. First one was the Dream Syndicate, and I played it, and it's not for me. So, again, I'm not saying it's not a good record. I'm saying it's not for me. And, you know, they gave me this Secret Machines. Is that the name of this band? Hey, wait a second. I should be giving you the visual. I'm fucking up this whole thing, aren't I? No, I'm not. Here. This is the way the record looks. Secret Machines. And first needle drop immediately made me realize, boom, this is what I like. Texas Trio. Brother combo. One plays the guitar, the other guy plays electronics, and then there's a drummer who is unfucking believable. Let me get you his name. I know you're so curious to know what these names are, so I'm going to get them for you, okay? Brandon Curtis is who sings. He plays bass and keyboard, but very, very krautrock drenched. You know, these guys are trying to take you on a ride. And there's so many bands. There's tons of bands. But, I mean, this is like 2004, you know, number one. And number two, it's a trio. And the amount of noise they make. Okay. Then there's Brandon Curtis's brother, Benjamin Curtis, who plays guitar with, I'm guessing he's got it plugged into about 1 million pedals. It reminds me of old Swerve Driver sometimes. Not the same aesthetic in terms of, you know, where the songs are going type of thing, but in terms of just layer over layer over layer, effect over effect over effect, just big, 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 amazing sound. You know, that's definitely there. It's thick. And it takes you on that journey. And then all of a sudden you got the electronics. And then you got the drummer, Josh Garza. I mean, I don't know any of these guys before I dropped the needle a couple of weeks ago. I don't know any of this stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm not, you know, okay, what am I going to do with this? And it reminds me of John Bonham. Josh Garza reminds me of John Bonham. Thunder. This fucking guy is thunder drums. Boom, boom. It's just cannons, right? And when, you know, a band's trying to take you on a kind of krautrock, space rock type journey, to have these cannons fucking pummel it forward is mind-blowing. And the fact that it comes out of a trio, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I got a hard-on for power trios. I love power trios, you know, so Mountain and Fushitsusha and, yeah, Rush, even Rush, early Rush. So I really like it. Now I decided I'm going to review the record, so I keep listening to it some more and realize, wait a second, you know, the vocals are kind of reminding me of a whole bunch of those 90s alt-rock bands. There used to be a radio station here in Burlington called 999 The Buzz. The alternative radio station, and that's where it is that we would get our Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins and Cake and a whole bunch of stuff like this, right? Because the regular old rock and roll stations hadn't hipped on to the phenomenon that was Nirvana and Soundgarden, all of that stuff. Just here in Canada, good old CRTC taking care of business every day. Fuck. Do you know that they use that song for fucking car rental commercials? Like Avis or something? Fuck. I don't want to hear it anymore. So yeah. And this Secret Machines record is reminding me a lot of that stuff from that era, which I like. Going a little further and log my record into Discogs, and all of a sudden, okay, now it's making sense. Let's see. Brandon Curtis currently plays with Polyphonic Spree, which is Tim DeLaughter's of Tripping Daisies band afterwards. It's completely trippy. I love Polyphonic Spree. Didn't really care for Tripping Daisy, but Polyphonic Spree smashes me, right? So he's on that. Or is it Tripping Daisy he's on? I don't remember. Okay. Then, unfortunately, the second of the Curtises, Benjamin Curtis, passed on, died of a lymphoma. But looking at the notes, he drummed for Tripping Daisy as well from 97 to 99. I mean, in Secret Machines, he's the guitarist and backing vocals, but he used to be the drummer for Tripping Daisy. So, okay, we got two Tripping Daisy connections. And Benjamin Curtis was replaced by a dude named Phil Carnatz, who also plays guitar for Tripping Daisy and that other Tripping Daisy band called Polyphonic Spree. So there's that connection. Now, in order to make the entire incestuous relationship, tie it up with a nice sloppy string, we got Josh Garza, the drummer, fucking John Bonham, who also plays with Polyphonic Spree. They're all part of the same thing. It's kind of like Deep Purple, right? You can't separate Deep Purple from Whitesnake and Rainbow, and there's a few other bands in there, but those are the three, right? Where it's like they're just so intricately connected. Everyone's played with everyone else. So Secret Machines is kind of like that old Deep Purple, Rainbow, and what's the other one I mentioned? I forgot. And the record's amazing. And did I make notes for myself? Yeah. I had to put it this way. Big, lumbering drums that sometimes remind of Bonham. Actually, there was one song, don't remember exactly one of them, that the drums reminded me a lot of a song I haven't heard in at least a decade, because I will simply not play Led Zeppelin 4 again. But when the levee breaks, oh, trust me, I remember what that record sounds like. I've heard it so many times, but when the levee breaks, and I know Ice-T's used that big drum sample as well in one of his songs. I don't remember the name of the song, but OG, Original Gangster, he samples Bonham. But it's got that big booming drum cannon sound that reminds of Bonham. I forgot which song. Like I said, alt 90s vocals, tons of effects on the guitar, which reminds me of Swerve Driver. And I guess another interesting little thing is none of these records sold well. And I mean, Secret Machines, this one's their debut album, was released on Reprise, right? Major label. Reprise is actually, to give you a little bit of a tidbit, it's a label that was begun by Frank Sinatra. And he started releasing all his records. Yeah, same label as fucking Neil Young and all the rest. Reprise, man. Started by Frank Sinatra. So they were signed to Reprise. Money was behind it, and by that point, 2004, the music industry was in the shitter, right? Because everyone was stealing stuff. So what it is that they did was they tried to kind of stagger, or tried I mean, you got to give it to them for even just trying to sell the record in a way that people consume. But I think the first thing they did was they made it available, a couple of songs available for free download, right, for all the people who were stealing songs from the net. And then they made it available as a subscription with extra songs on iTunes when buying songs on iTunes was a big thing. And then the physical release with all of the songs was there. So the idea is kind of like just drip on the fans until you finally get to the point where they're going to want to buy the whole package. It failed. Nobody was selling records back then, and it's not because the record sucks. The record's amazing. Look, I didn't want to give it a chance, and I'm fucking whole hog on it now. I love the thing. So another fun fact about it is that David Bowie was a very vocal fan of Secret Machines. He'd talk about them. As a matter of fact, he interviewed them very openly. They have been interviewed by David Bowie. Now I'm reading. Who very openly and enthusiastically was supportive of the band. Bowie was impressed by the band's ability to record songs that had not been pre-written and said he was a big fan of the first 3 songs on the album. In particular, he liked the song Alone and Jealous and Stoned. Neither song is on this album. It's on another one. I haven't heard them. I can't comment. But those were David Bowie's favorite songs from Secret Machines. Jealous and Stoned and Alone. From which album? Maybe you guys can tell me. I don't know. And there was one little piece of news also that came here. I'm going to read you a little quote, okay? And then the show's over. What other notes that I make for myself? They take Pink Floyd, this is off a review. This is a Rolling Stone review, actually. They take Pink Floyd psychedelia, Led Zeppelin stomp, and the Who-inspired choruses and charge them full of big rock beats, atmospheric keyboards, and all kinds of electronic whooshes. Rolling Stone magazine. Absolutely. And yeah, I guess it's similar to Flaming Lips also. And I had something also here, but I can't find it now. Of course I can't find it. You can never find things when you need them, right? Nah, I can't find it. The drummer has been told a million times that he sounds like John Bonham, so I had a little quote from him where he addresses that, and guys, I've let you down again. I don't know where that quote is. I lost the fucking quote. I think I'm done talking. Is that okay by you? Can we pick winners now? Did you enjoy the show? Is the bus at the bus stop? Is the bus at the bus stop? That's the show. Oh, nice. So we got 2 winners. The VMP prize is going to Bianca Bangay, and the reason it is that I'm happy to be giving it to Bianca Bangay is because she has shared this stream throughout, man. It's not the first time she shares it, so I'm happy she got a prize. Bianca, hit up Eric Polderman, or Eric will call you or just message you, and you win a prize from Vinyl Me Please. Go pick your prize. There's that link right there. Use it. Use it. Check it out. Hey, maybe subscribe. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe something bad. Maybe something good. That's number 1. Number 2, we got a prize from Temporary Residents. And I know who the prize is going to, so I'm picking them shits for him. Chris Somovigo, you are getting a prize, Temporary Residence, and I'm picking that shit for you. The record that you're getting is Behind the Shadow Drops, man. It's gonna sound good. This guy makes like high-end cable. That's another discussion altogether, but you know, he's a marketing guy behind Soundsmith. And just so that you know, there's no conflict of interest. I don't pick the prizes. He was picked all by his lonesome. So Chris Somovigo, you won the prize Fairsies and Squaresies, and you're getting Behind the Shadow Drops. This right here. I mean, just look at the album cover. I think that tells you a lot about it. I really hope they put out another record. Yeah, I'm going to keep going on and on and on about it. So yeah, that's the deal. Sorry to the YouTube people, it didn't happen. Because technical difficulties. Other than that, I hope everything went off without a hitch. Switch. I was going to say without a switch. You know why? Because I saw somebody post up Chicken Switch, the Melvins record, that I don't have, that I want, but I think I found out just yesterday that it's some kind of remix record. And that's interesting, because I'm not sure I've ever heard Melvins remixed, and I didn't know. Right? So now suddenly I want Chicken Switch. I want the new one too, but we were supposed to get it and never came because, well, Ipecac doesn't send promo. Sad me. I don't go out to the outside world. I buy records online though. I bought a 10 LP Miles Davis box set, the bootleg series, live at Newport. That's coming in next week, okay? Live sessions from 55 right into the mid-70s. All stuff that Miles Davis with his various bands performed at the Newport Jazz Festival, released by Music on Vinyl. Big motherfucking box set. I'm pretty close to having 100 Miles Davis records. I just added another 10 vinyls. Vinyls with an S. Come on, correct me, please. Pretty please. Vinyls. Vinyls. That's how many vinyls there are. Alright? Please correct me in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I sure as hell did. Goodbye.